Speaking of incredible tools, I want to share with you one of my favorite things when it comes to marketing your photography. We talk a lot about the front end, how to photograph a client, how to pose a client, how to light a client, but there's that back end. And as I mentioned, I'll be on tour this year and I will be teaching the art of sales. But one of the things that's really important in sales is branding, understanding who you are and getting your name out there. Now, when I started photography, branding was simply taking pictures. It was really nothing more than I photograph babies. Not a lot of people were photographing babies, so therefore I started to be recognized in my community. I started getting displays up, and not a lot of people were getting displays up, so I started to be recognized in my community. So my foundational marketing originally was just a good quality image. Now let's fast forward to the digital era we were talking about, because now all of a sudden you have people who everybody's a photographer. We all know that saying, everybody's picking up a camera, everybody's doing the work. And to be really honest with you, separating yourself from those clients is a little more challenging. Making your work stand out, making sure that people recognize you is really important. So one of the things I really recommend right out of the gate is a good, strong logo. You need to spend the money, take the time, and choose a logo that tells your message, that really helps people understand who you are. Now, a lot of times I have students tell me, you know, should I use my name as my brand or should I come up with a name? And to be honest with you, you really have to think that out. When I started photography, I was told not to use my name in photography because someday when I grew up and I wanted to sell my businesses or my business, it was going to be hard to sell my name because you branded yourself. And so that was sort of my mentality early on, is that I didn't want to use my name. So I started my company as Expressions Photography. But what happened over the years is I started to realize that, number one, more Expressions photography started popping up. They had different names. In Colorado, it was Expressions by Cindy, Expressions, you know, I'm making things up, but Expressions of Colorado. Whatever the names were, all of a sudden I was hearing my company's name used by other people. And I started to realize that there was a problem there, that people were starting to confuse me. In fact, I remember two occasions, one where somebody called me and they said that they wanted fairy pictures, but they had called the other Expressions and that they had referred them to me. So the good news is that they had referred them, which was great because that was obviously very honorable of them. But the bad news, it made me realize that my potential client had found somebody else first. Now, had they been calling for a baby session or a family session, they might not have known that it wasn't the artist they were looking for, and they might have booked with them. So that was my first little red flag. But the one that really threw me was, it was like the holiday season, and we get a phone call, and there is a client that is livid on the phone, that is extremely upset about the sports series that we've done and how we didn't get the images to them, and they were just so angry that they weren't even, honestly, we couldn't even understand them, and we were trying to sort out what it was that they were asking for. And as the conversation went on, they started telling us about this sporting event that we had photographed and how what a poor job we did and how we hadn't delivered the work. And we had to try to interrupt and say, look, we did not do that. That's not our company. We didn't do this. And this person was so upset they weren't even listening. And in fact, I remember vividly them saying, do you think I'm stupid? You don't know that I know you did this? And it took us a little while to calm this person down and to help them understand that we were not, in fact, the right Expressions photography, that clearly that another studio had done the work, and we helped them find the people that they were looking for. But that was definitely the biggest red flag. That was the one where I said, okay, I appreciate that somebody sent somebody to me, but I don't want to be recognized as a studio that's doing poor work or not following through. And so it was that transition that I started working and switching from Expressions photography to Expressions by Sandy Putch. And eventually over the years, we started dropping the Expressions, and eventually I just went to Sandy Putch Photography. Now my brand and logo has changed a lot over the years. We've modified it, we hope we've improved it, but we've always had two things. Number one, we've always marketed my name, and we've always marketed the word photography, because especially with SEOs and the way people search for you these days, they're going to be using the word photography if they need pictures taken. And so for me, simply using my name and using the word photography was the way that I felt I was going to most capture those people that are searching and looking for us. Now the second part, once you've got a great logo and you feel comfortable with it, and again, I want to tell you, it's not a matter of me saying that you should use your name or you should not use your name. What you should do is do what you feel comfortable with, what you feel is going to represent you best. Now, the next piece to this is really the branding side of it. You've got your logo, now what are you going to do with it? Well, obviously, the first thing I'm going to encourage you to do is get it everywhere. You want everybody to see your name. So if this were a marketing seminar, I would be talking about my top 3 campaigns, newsletters, displays, and referral programs. But today we're not going to cover that. I'm sure it will come up in a future show. But branding is critical, getting your name everywhere in those realms, and then also the final delivery. How do you give your products to your clients? To me, there's 2 sides of this. Your brand continues through delivery. And as you can see, I have some incredible products here. These are all from HB Photo, and this is a company that I believe provides amazing resources for photographers. We have everything here from our delivery boxes, which you can see we have the nice band. Just gives it a high-end presentation. So the first part is the branding, but the second part is really that high-end feel. How are you going to get a client to feel like the investment they're making is worth it? You know, we want our clients to spend well, and certainly in our studio, we don't expect everybody to spend $5,000, but our clients do. We have sales that range. We have, you know, newborn baby clients that come in and spend only a few $100s. We have clients who spend a few thousand, and we have clients who spend upwards of $15,000 or more a year. And of course, I wish I could tell you that was everybody. It's not. Those are few and far between. But the one thing I do know, whether they're spending $100 or they're spending $15,000, when they walk out of the studio, I want them to feel like there was value there, that their investment was not only the portrait, but they walk away feeling like this feels like an investment. I have purchased art. So these are our portrait delivery boxes. They come up to 11 by 14 size. They have this nice little rubber band to give it kind of a high-end feel. In addition to the boxes, they have all kinds of delivery bags. So for us, one of the key components was really showing our logo, making sure that everything that walks out of the studio showcases the logo, showcases who we are, right down to the tissue. And as you can see, we have different contrasting colors. So we have the teals, and our colors happen to be the browns and teals. So we have teal tissue, we have brown tissue, we have teal bags. We also have a lot of boxes, different types of boxes. Now, there are 2 ways you can produce a box. You can do their standard boxes, which of course are great and affordable. You also can do a custom box. And the custom boxes, of course, are where I get really excited because, as you can see, we designed the look and the feel of the box, and we've had it all custom done with our logo. And then, of course, this is our little USB drive, which we love, and this is a great way for us to deliver our work. Later on in another episode, we are definitely going to talk about digital files and how to handle them and how to sell them to your clients. And are you supposed to or are you not? We're going to give you our opinions on that for sure. But right now, I think the world knows that this is something that is kind of a standard. Clients are expecting to get a hold of those. And we want to teach you how to make it work for you, how to make sure you capitalize on the sale and you're able to provide them a product that works really well for them. So this is definitely one I'm excited about, because whether you choose a product that is simply the standard products that they have, they're ready to go, they can get them to you real quickly, or if you decide to go with something that's a little more custom and you want to make sure that it represents you a little bit better, you've got lots of options with HB Photo. So hopefully you guys have some ideas for branding and some things that you want to make changes in your studio. For me, I have something exciting because I get to give away some things. For HB Photo, we've got a great discount for you. So make sure you write this down. We have 15% off the entire store, unlimited. So this is your opportunity to save 15% and get everything you see here. You can get your boxes, your folios, whatever it is that you need, and you can get them all branded so that you can really represent who you are. Now, a lot of people ask me, how much money should I spend or what should I buy first? And what I always tell people is start looking at your resources. What do the clients see the most of? For me, we deliver. Every single client that buys something is going to get a final product. So therefore, packaging to me is my first priority. So of course, getting the appropriate size bags and the delivery boxes would be my number one. Then of course, as you move into the custom boxes, the folios, all those presentation options, it's kind of a level system on how you're going to spend. But I definitely want you to start making those decisions and finding ways to change your brand, to take yourself to that next level and create a system that is going to be impressive. Because the one thing I learned a long time ago is what you deliver, how you present, sticks in your client's mind. Everything from providing hot cookies during the sales session, having drinks available, to the brand that walks out the door, it makes a difference. When I started photography, we talked a little bit about resources, and there weren't a lot of resources available to do this type of beautiful presentation. In fact, when I started photography in Colorado 21 years ago, my portraits would come in a plastic cardboard sleeve with a plastic bag and brown tape over the top. And my clients literally would run to my doorstep and I would put them in my milk box, and there would be like a little file folder with their name on it, and that's how I presented. But back then my orders were, you know, $59, $75, $150 order was a huge order to me. And of course at that time, it was definitely, you know, all I could afford. And now, as we've changed and we've shifted, I think the clients have a better presentation. They see a better product. They expect to spend a little bit more. And it goes without saying that taking yourself to that next step is going to make a big difference.